All right. What were you
So,
just asking me? But well, now that we're on air.
yeah, on air. We're not a radio show,
I know.
but are
Everybody
we
complains
kind of?
about it. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna change. I'm gonna keep
This
saying
is
on air.
this is the new kind of radio, isn't it?
That's kind of think why I use on air.
And we've got radio voices.
But people, yeah, but people don't like it. I know it's not on air, folks, but fucking fuck off. So you were just asking me a question that I wanted on the recording, just for honesty and posterity, the whole thing.
Yeah, no, I asked you if you watched the fourth season of fucking Bridgerton.
Spit it out. There you go. I don't know. I watched some. I was very against it. I was the quintessential dude for a while. I would walk by, my missus would have it on initially. I'm like, fuck all that. And then I caught myself hesitating in the room just for a split second, and then I found myself asking some questions, and then I was sitting down watching.
Yeah.
I'm willing to admit I was trying to be not open-minded, but I was trying to give it a chance. Yeah, some of it was very, very interesting. I don't know where I left off. I may have seen the most recent one. When did it come out?
I think the second half of the fourth season was just released last week.
No, then I haven't seen any of that. I probably ended either at the end of the second or end of the third season. But if I asked my missus, I bet she'd know.
Well, what happened in the last? Do you remember what happened?
No, the big girl who was the newspaper writer, it came out that it was her, and the air quotes, handsome prince guy, they got together. I was taking it for what it was worth. I wasn't fully invested in the show, but I was willing to sit down and let it play in the background and hang with my missus. Like,
That was the end of the third season.
okay, so then I've seen that. Okay, right.
Yeah, no, I found myself really enjoying that. I even watched the Queen Charlotte spinoff. Like,
I
I don't
definitely
know.
haven't seen that, but if my missus had watched it, I would have got probably caught up in it by mistake. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's good, and plus I'll be honest, as a dude, like I get laid almost every time we watch
I don't know if we've ever talked about this on the podcast. Okay, so I haven't made that correlation yet. Maybe that was the case, but I haven't been paying attention. But years ago, I did pay attention. Not the most recent, but this would have been probably 8 or 10 years ago. They had 2 or 3 seasons of a remake of Spartacus.
it. Yeah.
They played on Sunday evenings, starting like late afternoon. They played two of those, and then they played 2 episodes of Battlestar Galactica. That was the
Okay.
programming.
Yeah.
It took me a little while, but I eventually made the connection of when we watched 2 episodes of Spartacus, I was probably getting lucky that night most
Yeah.
nights.
Yeah.
I'm not hating on it at all. If it works for everybody
Hey,
involved and it gets engines revved up, great. Like,
well, I asked my wife actually, I'm like, why is there so much sex in this show? It doesn't seem like there's an awful lot of it for a Netflix show, right? And she's like, John, it is going off of the books, which is the female smut books. Like they're the romancy books. And I'm like, okay. Shit makes sense now. Gotcha.
it is, it is, what's the word? It's porn for ladies.
Yeah, it's erotic.
It's
It's
erotica for ladies. Like, not just,
absolutely.
I mean, obviously they also like video, whatever, but yeah,
Right.
that's part of the deal.
Yep.
It's,
Look, I ain't complaining. You guys do you. Like there's no judgment coming from a man that benefits from the situation.
absolutely right. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm not against it at all. It is like whatever floats the boat, as they say. Um, yeah, I did have oh, what was it that I was gonna say? The only one that I had a problem with that I'm happy to say I never read so much as a word out of the books or watched so much as 30 second of the films was that what was the previous movie series? There was 2 or 3 of them. Lady dating a rich guy. He was into some kinky shit.
50 Shades of Grey.
Uh, fuck that series.
Yeah, I've never watched any of that.
My issue with that is if that was a homeless guy, that would have been a criminal court case, but he
Yes.
was a rich, young, handsome dude, and all of a
Yes.
sudden it's romantic. Fuck all of
Right.
that.
Yeah.
No, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. Like,
Yeah.
right? That's yeah, I don't agree with any of that at all.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. Fuck all that.
Funny question from your missus. That's great.
Yeah.
Shout out to your missus.
Well, it's kind of funny
Buddy,
because I brought it up on the job site, to be honest with you. I asked the guys, I'm like, hey, you guys watching Bridgerton? And the one guy's all like, he looked at me flat out. He's like, I did not peg you for a Bridgerton kind of guy, John. I'm like, well, there's a lot of things that you don't know about me.
there is something to be said for having an open mind for it not guns and explosions and superheroes and whatever, right?
And I like
It
all that too.
it can't all be genetically engineered dinosaurs and lightsabers. Like I'm willing to
Exactly.
admit, right? You gotta
Exactly.
open your mind a little. So,
Right. It's called
well,
being
welcome
cultured.
back, buddy. It's good to see you.
Yeah, you too, my man.
So first and foremost, everybody, just let me say quickly, sorry for the slight break in our recordings.
It's his
I
fault.
Yeah, it was
It's his
entirely my
fault.
fault. John is completely innocent. I was deathly sick for about a whole week. I never got tested because I'm a guy and we don't go to the doctor.
Yeah, should
It
know.
was either norovirus or just a random like terrible flu. I don't know what it was, but it was real bad. And then the next week when we planned on recording, work take precedent, had to stay late. It is what it is, folks. So
Okay,
appreciate you
so
bearing with us. Sorry that we weren't here.
I'm cutting you off right there. You like so you had yes, everybody, let's go into a little bit more detail here for a hot second.
Yeah.
Jason texted me because we were planning on scheduling and doing the recording like we always do. We sit there and text, hey, what time? Da, 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 da. Actually, you didn't. You called me and you're all like, unless I can record from the toilet, we ain't doing it tonight.
Yeah, I was in a bad way. The first 72 hours, I was trying not to be graphic, folks. I was trying to get liquid in at a comparable level to the speed in which it was exiting
Right.
and not having a ton of luck. I was in a real, real bad way for a minute. So I'm happy to say that I got through that. The unfortunate part was it came off at a point where I really couldn't take any time off of work, which, as all of us who work in the industry know, it's so much harder to get better when you can't stay home and rest.
Rest and take care of
So,
yourself.
and
And
then
then
the
you had a
following
follow up.
week, yeah, I had a full day already that had not gone my way, and then took a call late that ended up being late, and it is what it is.
Yeah, those emergency service calls sometimes they just jump up and bite you in the ass, especially like you go into some of these places and it's an emergency service call, and sometimes it's all like, oh, I just need to reset the brake, or like you just tripped it out, not the end of the world, dude. And others is like you had, without too much detail, a horrible loss of phase power from the power company side and a whole production system. Like, yeah, eh, that's not good
As
ever.
anybody who works in construction knows, occasionally an emergency that comes up, your part of it needs to be taken care of, looked at, assessed after the problem is solved. Sometimes it's waiting around going, all right, well, this might take a while, or I don't know how long this is going to take, and it is what it is. So
Yeah.
we try to keep things going. That's the whole idea of working construction and service. Keep things built, keep moving, keep all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But beside the point, buddy, as always, welcome to the job trailer. I am this week again on the east side. John is on the west side. I promise, folks, one of
Yep.
these days we'll be back in the same space. I look in John's background and still see an awful lot of studs with no sheetrock or backing. It may be an ongoing process, but nonetheless, buddy, happy to
Yeah.
see you. I'm glad we're back.
Yeah, you too, my man. Shit.
I I'm gonna forego our normal start off banter here because I know what the end of this episode is going to be like, and I'm trying to mentally prepare myself to defend. So, that being said,
You poor
man,
man.
may I just jump in?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
All right.
Let's do it.
Before we get going here real quick though, again, welcome everybody to the Job Trailers. Quick shout out to our buddy Crispy. He's been I guess a few times. I'm just back from Clearwater, Florida. He was nice enough to put me up and host me for a few days. We had a hell of a great time, some warm weather in the middle of winter to get a little break. Thank you, Crispy. It was great to see you and Lisa and the boys while we were there. I just want to say thanks. So, buddy, at this point, a couple weeks ago, the Winter Olympics is how an adult would say it, have once again come and gone. And even before the last day of competition, I had some strong opinions about this year's Olympics, good and bad.
Yeah.
I thought we'd get into it for a little while.
Yeah, why not, man?
So,
Why not?
first and foremost, though, the biggest question is for people who have been listening for a long time, we did a whole episode very early on in our podcast about John watching sports. And if you've listened to that, if you haven't, go back. It's in our first 10 or 12, I believe. I didn't look it up.
Yeah, something like
John
that.
watches absolutely zero sports. That's
Yep.
the abridged version of that whole episode.
Right.
But did you, as an American patriot, watch any of the Winter Olympics?
No,
No. Okay.
no. I saw clips, and that was good enough for me.
You didn't actively check anything out. You weren't watching curling like the rest of the world.
Nope. Saw the clips of the cheating.
I didn't even think about that part. So on that note, okay, this happens every Winter Olympics since I've lived in the United States. Let me take a drink here and get into this. Um, I inevitably get calls and texts from friends with questions about curling because curling is very popular, especially in Minnesota. It seems like the teams are always based here, practicing here for the U.S. team. But curling is a big thing in Canada and Europe and things like that. We have many competitions that are on TV, and people want to know, hey, how does this work? Blah, blah, blah. Uh, yep, it is unfortunate that there's two things in this Olympics that really did not go my way. The first one was you hate to be the country that's involved in this year's Olympic scandal, and this year it was Canada.
It
So
really was.
for those of you who aren't aware, the Canadian men's curling team were playing, I believe it was Sweden and or Finland at the time, and the one of the Canadian players was accused of cheating. Once you let go of the stone, you are no longer allowed to touch it, whether it has crossed the line or not, and he got caught unequivocally twice giving it a little extra nudge because he didn't let the stone go at the weight that he wanted to.
And I think it wasn't only the men's. I think the women's team did it as well.
Okay, so I don't know. I didn't know that that had happened. I'm not going to have an opinion on that. The only things that made it to me were the men's team. The problem with the men's team was when it was brought up by the opposing team on a hot mic on international TV, our curling player proceeded to curse out the opposing team, F this and F that. And it was, as I said, you hate to be the country
What?
who's on a hot mic on international Olympic TV, which is supposed to be, fuck you, fuck this. I didn't fucking cheat. Defended himself to the hilt. And then within less than 12 hours, the video from the perspective of how he cheated, looking right down the line on the ice, caught him busted red-handed doing it. It sucks to be the country that get to be the ones who are responsible for this year's controversy.
Yeah, and it was. I just looked it up. It was the men's and the women's
And the
curling
women.
teams
See, that's
were
not good.
te- allegations of double touching the stones is what they call it,
Well,
right?
I can tell you, I haven't seen the women's team part of it, but it's not an allegation with the men's team. That
No,
same
they're
dude
both
got
on
busted.
video.
Yeah,
They're
busted
both
multiple
on
times doing
video.
that. Yeah. And
Like
then
it's
had the
just like,
nerve
come on,
right.
man.
And then had the nerve to curse another Olympic team out and do it on a hot mic and do it on international TV. Fuck my life.
Oh, Canadians are supposed to be the nice
We're
ones,
supposed
though.
to be the nice ones, man. Fuck. I had a person I work with text me after that all came out, and he's like, "Is there really going to be a curling fight before a hockey fight in the Olympics?"
Very
I have to
possible.
admit, it made me laugh.
So some of the other drama that came along with the Olympics this year, though, is the crotch filler scandal. Did you hear about
I
that?
love the crotch filler scandal. Now,
Yeah.
fortunately, I don't know if the Canadians are involved in that, but I heard about the scandal.
Uh,
Go ahead, buddy.
yeah. So some of the rumors started up that the male ski jumpers were injecting hyaluronic acid into their crotches to make their suits larger for better aerodynamics.
I have a slightly more information because I'm sorry to admit I looked into this. So here's the deal. These ski jumpers get these suits fitted way in advance.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Basically skin tight to make things as aerodynamic as possible. And as you say, they will inject their private parts with this particular substance during the fitting process in order to make things engorged, for lack of a better word. And
Yep.
apparently, once the swelling, air quotes, goes down, it leaves a little extra
Right.
material in that particular area, and that can be advantageous to be more aerodynamic when you actually take your jump.
Right.
That's really fucked up because not the fact that
Why
they,
would you do that though?
not the fact that, why would you do that? Okay. Here's the real problem, buddy. Somebody had to figure out that that was the case.
That's a lot of crotch staring.
That's a lot of
Oh,
crotch thought, a lot of crotch staring. What could we do? Not inject in your bicep or your thigh or your calf with a little something to just give you a little more material to help out with that jump just the tiniest little bit.
right.
Somebody's like, no, you know what the best thing that is, do? You see that needle over there? I want you to inject that in your wang 2 to whatever hours before you go for your fitting.
Right.
I mean,
I can't. I just can't.
well, on that note, buddy, here's the other scandal with that whole thing. Folks, I watch the Winter Olympics. I enjoy it. I usually watch the summers as well. I like the international sports. I think it's a good thing.
I
They
used to
had
watch them.
Yeah, they had another controversy with that too, because when I was watching the finals of the ski jumping, they were taking their final runs, and whoever does the best in the first or second runs or whatever, it's a reverse order. You get to go last if you were kind of in the lead so far, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, with there's 3 ski jumpers to go. The weather started to turn. It started to snow, and then it got a little more snowy, and then the wind changed direction, which apparently was non-advantageous.
Okay.
The directors of the run said, no, 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 it's no longer safe with the amount of snow coming down and the wind conditions, and called the competition. And those last 3 jumpers didn't even get their chance to go. And they said, whatever the standings are right now, when we call it for safety reasons, those are the standings. We're not coming back
Oh, that's
tomorrow.
bullshit.
That's bullshit, right? But
That
apparently
is
that's part of the rules. You could take one run and jump a terrible distance. 50
right.
feet down the way, which, by the way, folks, if you didn't watch it, they're jumping more than 50 feet. It's in meters and it's a lot of meters.
It's a lot of
Uh,
meters.
it's a lot of meters. Uh, you could have had a bad one as long as you landed it. The weather turns bad in the final run. No, you won.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
The
That
rules
is
will get
bullshit.
the rules get a little squirrely, right? But
Right.
yeah, I did think that was pretty great. That was it did make me feel slightly better about the other thing, but that's not so much a controversy as them trying to get another yard or two.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So you mentioned earlier that, the I don't know, it doesn't look very good for Canada when the guy cusses out on a hot mic. How what about the Norwegian biathlete that confessed to cheating on his girlfriend during a live televised interview and winning a bronze medal?
A,
Come, what
you
the
didn't
fuck?
win a gold, buddy.
No, you won
You
a
win a gold and you
bronze,
beg for your girl back for making a mistake, right?
right?
That is a
You won a
person who,
bronze.
right, that's not good. That's not a
Like,
good look at all.
does he have like his last 2 brain cells just couldn't quite connect? Why would you do that?
I can't imagine for the life of me why you thought, I mean, desperate, obviously, to get his missus back and thought, I'm going to use my international stage platform to beg for my. That's not the time. And not on a bronze medal.
No, you
It's different, right?
moron.
I just won the Super Bowl and I'm going to Disneyland. Please forgive me, Sarah, for cheating. No, no. Hey, I just did third. Maybe you give
Take
me
me
one
back.
more chance.
No,
That's not
no,
good at all. Well,
no,
on that note, you heard about the the condom problem at the Olympics? Maybe you did.
no, no.
The Olympics takes place over how many days, sir?
Uh, It's 2 weeks,
10 days, usually.
10
Uh,
days.
3 days into the Olympics, the Olympic Village announced that because they give these out for free to all the athletes, condoms, obviously. This is an exciting time. You're meeting people from around the world. I understand there's going to be a lot of fooling around. They gave out 10,000 condoms in 3 days and ran out.
My God.
FYI, at that point, less than 25% of the events had even taken place or started to take place, preliminary rounds, whatever. Uh, Here's the unfortunate part for the good folks in Cortana, Milan, Italy. Previous Olympics had taken as many as 300,000 during that time. They definitely undersold how many they were going to need. And it was
There's
such
gonna
a
be
big
a
deal that they brought it up.
there's gonna be a lot of November babies.
There's going to be a lot of international November
International
babies
November babies.
for sure.
Good Lord,
Yeah,
dude.
that part really that gave me a lot of good fun.
My
I had
God.
asked you, I don't know if you had actually looked into it. Did you look up any of the history of the Winter Games?
I did. I did. Now the Winter Games, I mean, so it came in after World War II, right?
Hmm.
Um, and then it's kind of funny because when you look up the Winter Games history, it's really hard to get the internet to separate out the Summer Olympics because those
Yeah.
started way before then.
Right. And so many more, and we're going to get into it in a sec. So many more countries compete in the summer.
Right.
So
Right.
many more.
And it's a way bigger stage,
Yeah.
right? Um, I think I always wondered about that, right? So you got the winter games, you got the summer games, right? Because we had to start the winter games to make people not feel left out when they live in the frozen tundra like we do.
Also, about the same time that a lot of those other countries started getting really good at track and field and running sports, there used to be a joke when I was younger that it's the 1998 Whiter Olympics that
Well,
they had
there's
spelled
that.
it wrong, right?
Yep.
It's not everybody, but it's pretty Caucasian in the Winter Olympics by comparison, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Very
You know,
true.
they made a whole movie about a Jamaican bobsled team because there's not a lot of that going on, right?
Well,
Uh,
and the first Black American to even be in the Olympics period was in 1904,
right.
right? And so that's when we started losing as white guys. Just saying.
But also, if it's going to be the World Olympics, which it is for the most part, everybody should be involved, regardless of what shade your skin is. If you're the best, you should be the best.
Right.
I'm down for it. Uh, this is going to be a whole episode of sort of side tangents here, buddy. So
Right.
let me start out with there was some terrible things, some things that made me upset, some funny things, some things that make you think. I'm just going to bebop as we go through a few here, okay? For those of you who did watch the Olympics, a lot of times when an event is coming up and pardon me, please, there's someone from your country, they like to do a little personal piece. They talk to their parents, they show videos from they were a kid, things like that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is little Sarah when she first got on skis and now she's in the slalom championship, right?
Right.
Uh, a mother of a Wisconsin speed skater had what I believe is the quote of the Olympics. And if you
Yeah.
give me a split second here, I'm going to look it up because I wrote it down to make sure I didn't get it wrong. When they're showing the video of this young speed skater, which unfortunately I didn't get his name, uh, the kid is out on the ice, and you don't really notice until the mother says it, but she says, "We really didn't know how thick the ice was. That's why he's wearing a life jacket." That might be the most Midwestern thing I've ever heard when it comes to skating. They had a life jacket on him out there practicing because they weren't
Because he
really
was
sure
on
how
a
thick the
lake.
ice was. And then when you look back at the video, you're like, "Oh my God, he's got a life jacket on."
Oh, that is so funny.
I don't know why it made me laugh, but at the time I wrote it down on my phone. I'm like, well, gotta remember that to talk about.
That is the epitome of Midwestern.
Yeah, don't not let him go on the ice. We're not sure about the ice, so throw your life jacket on just in case you go through. Like, we'll
Just in
keep an eye
case.
on you. Go practice your skating. You might be an Olympian one day. I
Oh,
do
that's so
believe that
funny.
Wisco speed skater did end up winning a silver, if I'm not mistaken. But again, I wish I could remember his name.
Oh, that's fantastic. Um, so the early years of the actual Winter Olympics. So do you know what the first, like the original Winter Olympics was actually called?
It was the Nordic Games originally.
Ah, you are a smart man. Yep.
It was the
So
Nordic Games, right?
in Stockholm, Sweden, in 1901, actually.
Before there was Harleys.
And they were held again in 1903 and 1905, and then they changed to every fourth year until 1926. Right. And so it all changed and things, it's hard to keep track of like, oh, they did this and they started adding this and whatnot, because they will add games to the winter and the summer Olympics as the years progress. Right. I think Summer Olympics, I think badminton is that it?
Badminton. Yep.
Badminton. I think that's in there now. Fucking
Badminton
really?
was added this last Summer Olympics as I think they call them like a trial or something the first time, but badminton will make it. Okay.
Right.
Each Olympics, I looked into this over the last 50 years, there's been an average of two new events that they tested.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right. And some of them make it, some of them don't. This last Summer Olympics, if you were watching on that one, yes, badminton was added. That one will go forward. It's tennis-esque. It's fast. It's high-paced. Lots of countries compete. That one will make it in.
Right.
Breakdancing was also one of those ones
That ain't
that
making it.
it ain't gonna make it.
That ain't making
Ain't gonna make it.
it.
This Winter Olympics, for example, they didn't even show it on TV. Snow dancing, short little skis that are about the size of a snowshoe, but shaped more like a parabolic ski, bent up end, very short, like a big pair of boots, you know? Imagine ice dancing, but on a slightly downhill grade so they can keep momentum, spins, and this and that. There was no real flips. I think a couple people tried like a back. That ain't making it. But
What a joke, right?
they have to try the new things, right?
Right.
Uh, on that note, there are there are Winter Olympic events that I understand and ones that I just simply don't.
Yeah.
And when you compare them to the Summer Olympics, I don't know about anyone else. I was inundated with internet posts and social media about Olympic related things. And a lot of them were someone from the perspective of the Summer Olympics going, say, hey, we want a person to run from here to there, and whoever gets there fast enough is the winner, pardon me. Uh,
Yep.
I want you to throw this thing from here to there, and whoever throws it the far enough is the winner. And then you go to
Right.
the Winter Olympics and go, okay, I want you to slide down this icy hill as fast as humanly possible, head first. By
Right.
comparison, a lot of the events are ridiculous.
Right.
I bring up, I'm going to bring up a few as we go here, but I'm going to start with luge and skeleton. Are you familiar with both of these?
Yes, I am.
So
Yep.
luge, laying on your back,
Yep.
skeleton, laying on your
Laying on your belly.
head first.
Head first. Right.
Okay. Let's start with the people in the skeleton. I appreciate the bravery that you can go that fast. I'm a speed adrenaline junkie on motorcycles. I get it. That just seems completely out of control and unsafe. The luge, kind of the same thing, but at least you're going feet first. But then you get the doubles where you have a person laying on their back on this sled and then a person laying on top of them.
Yeah, that's freaking insane.
The top person, by the way, because of some of the not anti-gravity, but the reverse G-force. Sometimes you're getting pressed into the wall and sometimes you're getting pushed away from it. The top person has to strap themselves into the bottom. If you
Right.
haven't seen this, folks, pause right now, look up dual or pairs or whatever they call it, luge, and then realize that my wife sent me a post of two guys laying one on top of each other, getting ready to go down. And the caption said, this looks like a lie that got out of hand.
Yep. Yep.
There's no reason. The only reason to put the second person on there is physics. It's gravity.
It's weight, right?
It's mass, right? Two
Yep.
people will get going, but also that person underneath is just fucking hoping for the best.
Really, really. I mean, even the the speed that those people travel. Oh my God. I have no reason, no desire, especially in skeleton, right? You ain't seeing me going head first down that track.
In excess of 80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
That on a little freaking sled. No,
Yeah.
get bent.
Not to mention the fact that when people first hear about that, unless one of your family members or somebody you knew was an Olympian or won a gold medal in that event and you got excited about it, they call the other one luge.
Right.
This one's called skeleton.
Skeleton. Right. Right. Luge. It's kind of elegant. And then
Right.
yeah, like you said,
They didn't even
skeleton.
bother. They didn't
No.
find a word that kind of rhymed with luge, right?
Yep.
No, no. What happens at the end of this? A lot of times, you're a skeleton, and they didn't even bother to try. Like they may as well have called it maybe dead,
Right.
probably crash.
I mean,
Like
they could have even just said reverse luge,
they could have just said, right, reverse luge, right? Like it's
anti luge.
it's weird, right? But again, good on them for being brave, right?
Yeah, whoever is the marketing side of that, you're an idiot.
It is. And forgive me, folks. I get a little tickle in my throat here. I'll try not to cough you all to death. Let me take a drink of a non-alcohol related beverage here and see if I can fix it.
That'll help.
All right, second side tangent, buddy, and as you need, just jump in here, okay?
Yep.
Um, we are also all aware that there are the Olympic Games, and then there is the Paralympic Games.
Yes.
Okay. Um, I unfortunately put this question on there to ask you, but I didn't put a link so that you could look it up.
I did. I
You did.
tried to do a little bit of searching on it.
Did
Yep.
have you found the symbol for the Paralympic Games?
I believe I have, and I'm
Mm.
wondering why you brought up that question because it
Okay.
doesn't seem all that like I
Right.
can't tell what the hell it is.
Okay, so I'm going to explain what I see, and then you tell me where you think I went wrong.
Okay.
Most of us are familiar with the symbol for the Olympic Games. It's the five full Olympic rings
Yep.
interconnected. Yes.
Right.
Obviously, the Paralympic Games are for people who have lost an arm or a leg or multiple. Obviously, you know,
Yep.
uh, that symbol I find a little fucked up because if you look at it, it is three partial rings, not all rings. Isn't that a little fucked up, dude? Look up the symbol for Olympic Paralympic
That is a
Games.
little messed up.
See what I mean?
Five rings to
It's three
three
half moon kind of. It's
broken
without a
rings.
full ring, not all rings, partial rings, not as many as everybody else in the regular Olympics, quote unquote. I think the person who come up with the symbol for the pair, it's either really on the nose or they just weren't really thinking it out because it seems mean. They may as well have just
I
had five rings or four rings that had a piece taken out. It's
yeah.
essentially what it is.
I mean, you could have just yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty insensitive when
I'm
you
gonna
look at it,
say
right?
they're kind of genius, but it's also kind of mean.
Again,
That
if they
goes to
pick
the that goes to the
right,
saying I use at work is I'm not an ass or I might be an asshole, but I'm not a dick. That's definitely an asshole move.
it's a little too on the nose. Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
even correlate because I was looking at it and I'm like, what's the deal? Like, there's no.
because my brain is real messed up and it's looking for little things like that. And as soon as I looked at it, the first thing I think of was, well, yeah, obviously that makes sense, but also, yikes, like
Yeah, yeah.
that's
Now I get it.
that's not good.
That's
Uh,
I tell you what, when it comes to the Paralympics, I am actually when I started digging into this, I'm more apt to watch that than the regular Olympics. Just because I want to see what kind of tech they're using to attach whatever they're using to themselves.
uh, I am I'm proud of the IOC that there is a Paralympic Games. My question is, yeah, also with the tech that you say or whatever. Uh, I find myself asking the dark questions though. So let's take an example we talked about earlier. I don't know if there is ski jumping in the Paralympics. But if there is, if I'm missing an arm from the elbow down, do I get to compete with the person who's using one prosthetic leg? It seems like the
Hmm.
logistics in the Paralympics, we're not trying to make fun of it, folks, but I mean, in the spirit of honesty, it seems like the logistics would have to be real specific to the point that they're so specific that how many people are really competing in each event? You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
right? And that's just one example. Because I also there's the people who play hockey on the sit down skate board. I'm sorry to say I don't know what it's called. Do you have to have both legs gone? Is it the knee? Like
How interesting.
there's some questions of logistics that I'm going to look into for the next
It's
time. Like
happening right now.
it's going on as we record right now. Yeah, it's
Oh, how
also
interesting.
also very sad that they have it. They wait for like a week after the Olympics when people are starting to lose their heat about it, and then the Paralympic Games start.
So you've got para alpine skiing, the biathlon,
Mhm.
cross country skiing, ice hockey, snowboarding, and wheelchair curling. Oh, I want to watch that.
I didn't know about wheelchair curling. Yeah, I want to see that. Not to laugh. I want to see
No,
what
not
the
to laugh. I'm
logistics of
interested.
some
How
of
the
these things
hell?
are, the mechanics of it, right?
Right. And that's just a fantastic name.
Right.
Wheelchair curling.
Wheelchair curling is pretty great, actually.
That automatically makes me think, are they just pitching a wheelchair down the fucking lane or
It's not the most accurate description. That's probably
oh,
true.
that is great. Anyway, sidebar.
Yeah, sidebar. So I did notice though as well. I was watching the Olympics on a only about three different platforms this year because I was trying to catch as much as I could.
Yeah.
The amount of drug commercials was staggering.
So what I want to know is I want somebody from another country to give us a heads up. I want to know if that's just us or if those played everywhere because there's a lot of countries out there that it is illegal to run drug commercials.
My understanding is on television, and I think the caveat is uh, live television, a lot of places, but television in general. I think it's only the United States and one other country that allows them on TV.
That's what I'm thinking.
New
But I
Zealand,
want
but
to know.
also I'll be honest, I'm pretty sure I heard that on Joe Rogan, which might be true, might not.
Right.
But let's say it's even 10 times that. That's still only 11 countries in the world that allow it.
I
Have
can
you list
honestly
have you listened to one lately?
no. It's been so long since I listened to a commercial. I don't even know if they exist anymore, honestly.
Except for the fact that I listened to that and I watched some news coverage when I was in Clearwater with Crispy. I don't watch many commercials anymore either. Football season and hockey occasionally, right? Okay, thought experiment, buddy. I'm going to tell you the side effects of a drug that I wrote down,
Mm-hmm.
and then you give me a vague idea of the sort of thing this drug may be treating.
Okay, let's do this.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Uh, Contact your doctor if you see any change in your skin color, in quotes, not quotes, but parentheses, jaundice, uh, excessive bleeding, okay,
Mm-hmm.
trouble breathing, excessive heart rate, blood pressure increases. Uh, sorry, I got too big a text because I got glasses now, folks. Uh, depressive thoughts, loss of appetite, and I don't even know what that word means. Oh, any lowering of your white blood cell count. I realize they had the word for it. All of those things are the possible side effects of a drug. With all those things in mind, what do you think that drug not cures, but lowers your risk or effect from?
Fucking swimmer's eardrops.
Dude, right. That was for occasional migraines.
Are you serious?
You risk massive health problems as a possibility for the chance to reduce the likelihood or possibly prevent future ones. That's
I'd
a
take a migraine.
dude, that's a reasonable version. Okay. I
Yeah.
saw one for eczema
Yep.
that would lower the effect. Possible death
Yeah.
was
Yep.
in. This is a whole future episode for us, folks, but it was so often four out of
Tell your
every
doctor if you're trying to become pregnant or are pregnant.
or are pregnant, right? Yeah. Don't take this product if you're allergic to this product. We're definitely going to have a whole episode on this, folks,
Yeah.
but it was
It's
so
fucking
much
bad.
during the Olympics. I'm just like, it 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 narrowed down two real things for me. One, a lot of older people watch the Olympics,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
And a lot of people who are home more often were also watching them because those are people who were from a legitimate health concern or a possible one, work from home or stay at home, or you could see the audience being targeted. That was 4 out of 10 commercials. I
That's
kind of kept
horrible,
track,
man.
right? And of the
That is
ones that were
horrible.
left, it was cell phone, expensive rich people cruises, expensive rich people watches, expensive rich people cars, and expensive rich people perfumes. Oh, and occasionally fast food. Usually a online ordering app like Uber Eats or
DoorDash or
whatever.
something.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
Wild,
That's
buddy.
freaking horrible, man.
Wild, man.
Good Lord.
So again, a whole episode of tangents, folks. Um, I don't know where to start here. I'm gonna do this one because I think the last one and the second last one will be the most fun. Okay.
Hmm.
All time. Who do you think dominates the Winter Olympics?
All
Where do you think you stand? This is from 1924 to 2026, inclusive to the most recent one. And I will caveat, not all of these countries competed in the same amount of Winter Olympics. We'll talk about that a little bit too. I'll talk about my country because we're going to bring it up in a minute for something else.
I'm here's what I'm gonna say. Right off the bat, because it's where it started. I'm gonna say Norway.
Norway is number one all time with total Olympics. They have the most gold, the most silver, and the most bronze, and the biggest total all time. And they have competed in each and every one of the official 25 Winter Olympics.
It
Good
started
call.
there
Started there.
in
And
$1901.
they're literally the word Nordic, Norway. I bet
Norway.
if we looked into
Like,
the etymology of the words, there's probably a similar thing there, right?
right.
But yes, Norway is
Right.
number one. I'm going to give you some chances here. Who's number two all time?
Russia?
Oh, if you had been a little more patriotic, you would have had it. The United States is second all time.
All time?
All time. Also competing in all 25 of the quote unquote Winter Olympics.
Really?
Yep. They were number two in all-time golds, number two in all-time silvers, but they were actually fourth in all-time bronze, but their total was enough to put them second all-time. Still,
Hmm.
Norway's total all-time was 446 medals. The States fall all the way to 363. We bumped down to Germany quick, who's done pretty well. They're third all time in total, but they've only been to 17 Winter Olympics. I'm sure you can figure it out, folks. If you don't, open up a
Right.
history book. Uh,
Right.
Austria has competed in all 25. They dropped quite a bit, but still fourth. And then Canada is all time. They have a pretty even amount of all the medals, but
Yeah.
two less than half all time for golds compared to Norway. Three and a half
Well,
times less on the silvers and about the same on the bronze. So Norway and the States really killed it. The
that's funny
Soviet,
because that's how they played. That's how they placed this year.
right, and I did look at comparatively, it was really close.
Yeah.
You said the Soviet Union, pretty good call. They place six on the list all time, but important note, they've only competed in nine of the 25 Winter Olympics.
Ooh, then that put them if they actually competed in more, that put a right up next to us.
Think about it like this. If I look at the numbers, if I just say the total, let's use golds and totals, okay?
Mhm.
Uh, Norway all time, 446 total. The Soviet Union, 194. If the Soviet Union had competed in twice as many Olympics in the winter, that would only bring them to 18 to 25, and they would have surpassed them in every mark if the statistics kept kind of going.
Right. Right.
But we also know, folks, recently and historically, why the Russians haven't always been there. We can also talk about Germany, Italy, a few other countries as we go. The
Right.
Netherlands sporadically, China,
China.
Japan,
Yeah.
right? Poland occasionally, Latvia, Hungary.
Right.
There's a few that are on
Right.
there. And then, of course, you get into some of the sort of really random ones that just make sense to bring up. People wouldn't think of Chile as a powerhouse of the Winter Olympics.
No,
But they have won two medals, a silver and a bronze over the years.
the
Uh,
one that surprises me, honestly, is South Korea. Like
I'll
that's
tell you,
kind of shocking.
South
They placed
Korea,
13th this year.
South Korea isn't even on my list. They placed 13th this year.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I got that list right here. South Korea placed 13th this year.
Yeah. Fucking
Now,
crazy.
you have to think though too, there are fortunately, there's countries that have expanded the amount of things that they will be interested in and trained for. We saw a lot of that in the last two Olympics, this one especially.
Right.
Speed skaters.
Yep.
I noticed a lot of South Korean speed skaters, and they were doing fairly well, I believe, in curling. Some of their long distance skiers were getting close. You know what I mean?
Nice.
But yeah, South Korea is a good point. That one's, yeah. And, shout out to the people who are in Russia who have nothing to do with the politics over there, who did make the effort to come over and compete as whatever they called them, the Association of Independent Athletes. The
Yeah.
It was a blue circle flag that looked terrible. You may as well have just said Russians who still wanted to compete this year and they weren't allowing Russia to come.
Right. Right.
Probably going to go home and get thrown in a gulag. Like, you know what I mean? Shout
Right.
out to the people who at least
Unfortunately.
gave it a shot, right? But the United States did very well this year, buddy.
Yep. Number two.
Second, again behind Norway, right?
Again, behind
I'm
Norway.
always happy when the home crowd does well. Italy placed third this year with 30 medals in total. You hate to see it be in a place, your home place, and all of a sudden your citizenry just doesn't stand up. At least
Right.
Italy placed, right? Top
Right.
five, they're top three, so good on them.
Yep.
As a Canadian, I like when my country's in the top five, top 10. We made the top 10 this year. I can live with that.
No, you didn't. You're
Hold
number
on.
11.
No, 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 hold on. Norway, United States, Italy, Germany, Japan is five.
Netherlands is third.
No, Netherlands is after us. They've had medals taken away.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Italy is third. This is the ranking from the IOC, buddy, okay?
Oh, that's
Norway,
what
the
I was
United
looking at
States,
too.
Italy,
Oh,
Germany,
no, I'm
Japan,
not.
France, Switzerland, Canada, Netherlands, Sweden ranks
Okay.
out. That
I was
that
wondering why
rounds
you
out
were
the
off one after after Italy.
well,
I'm like, wait, Italy third.
one of
What?
it, one of us was off by one, that's for sure, buddy. That's why we do independent research. Sometimes as we've mentioned, the internet can give you multiple answers for the same thing.
Right.
Right. So let me ask you a question here, and then we're going to get into the hateful stuff, okay?
Sure.
If 4 years from now, you're going to compete in an event in the Winter Olympics. Now, I understand, I'm going to make a caveat here, okay? You're going to finish last in the world in this event,
Dead last.
dead
Right.
last, but you're going to be able to compete and you're going to be able to finish this event. What event could you compete in? What do you think?
I
Oh,
think there's
and hold on, let me point out, uh, if the likelihood of you competing in this event results in a long-term injury or probably death, you don't get to compete. You have to be able to land the jump, finish the race. There has to be a more than 50-50 chance that you're not going to hurt yourself permanently or die doing this, okay?
okay.
Ski jumping. Neither of us are doing ski jumping, for example, okay?
No, nothing that leaves the ground.
Okay.
Okay.
Going forward, yeah, something that you can physically compete with without the chance of probably dying.
Right.
Like, go ahead.
Speed skating.
Okay, you think you're a skater, do you? Okay, that's
Yep.
good.
That's how I learned how to speed skate on rollerblades was watching the Olympics and watching
You
how they
know
actually
that
move their
you,
legs.
you know that the Olympic speed skaters don't have those toe picks, right? You're
Yeah.
thinking of figure skating, maybe?
No, 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 no.
No, you're thinking
No.
speed skating. Okay.
Speed skating.
I'll put you on the spot. The longest distance you think you could complete?
Oh, you never said I had to be. I'm dead last, dude. I ain't
Yeah,
going
no, no, no,
fast.
no. I'm asking
I
you that,
can
right?
go
Yeah,
for a while.
but you mean like, but not the 500, right? Like not the 500 meter. You could make a few laps before you gassed, right? Like, could you compete in the 1,000? That's a kilometer. That's a sixth of a mile.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
1,500, the 10, how about the 10,000? That'd be 10 kilometers. That's
Uh,
6 miles.
probably not.
You're gonna die from that one. Okay.
I mean, I mean, if I like paced it out and wasn't worried and I could have like, 36 hours to do it without stopping, yeah, I could probably do that one.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Speed skating. All right. Never would have, man, if
Yeah.
all the things you would have said, that surprised me. Speed skating. Okay. I didn't even know you could skate, buddy.
Yeah.
Look, learned something new about you
I
today.
can actually skate.
Interesting. Can you do one of them little like flips and spins or anything?
No.
Any triple sow cows or whatever they call it? Nothing like that, right?
Again, my feet aren't leaving the ground.
Oh, and side note, uh, I I want to point out real quick, and then we're gonna move on. I'm not anti figure skating, but if you can't explain to me how the judging and scoring system works so I can understand if that looked like a good performance other than just it looked cool, I'm not going to be interested in your sport. This year on the Olympics website, when you went down to like, I wanted to see the schedule for, let's say, hockey,
Hmm.
there was a video, less than 60 seconds, explaining to you the basics of hockey so you could understand it, or biathlon, or
Right.
curling. There isn't one or for figure
No.
skating. I looked it up. Or the ice dancing, which by the way is just figure skating for people who can't leave the ice, like you said, right?
Right.
You don't want to jump. Yeah.
Exactly.
I believe that I could finish and do okay in the biathlon, the cross country skiing and shooting.
Yeah.
I'm an okay shot, and I cross country skied when I was a kid. I'd be slow, but I mean, I could ski my. So they have one that's like a relay. You do 7.5 kilometers, and there's four of them.
Hmm.
I could ski 7.5 kilometers and be an okay shot. Like
Do you get to
again,
stop to
dead
take the
fucking
shots?
last, right? So yeah, you stop to take your shots. It
Okay,
is
then that's different because if you
right.
were moving, I don't think you'd.
No, no, yeah, not where you're moving. No, no. You
No.
you ski that, but then you pull up, gassed and panting from the 7.5 kilometer ski that you just put in.
Right.
And I think a couple times or three times during that, don't quote me on the number. I think you take a couple of different shots. So it's five round white targets with a fancy super
Yeah.
light, I assume is a 22 caliber quotient air rifle. I don't think they're firing actual shots, right? And if you get it, great. And if you miss one, right when you leave that shooting area, there's like a loop. I don't know how far the loop is. For every shot you miss, you got to take the penalty loop before you can get back out. So if you shoot clean,
Yep.
you can take off down the road. And if you blow a tire like NASCAR, you got to take a quick lap and then you can go,
Yep.
right? I think I could. I'd be dead fucking last, but I mean,
Yeah.
it wouldn't just be me and the janitor at the end. Like there'd still be a couple people mulling around the stands drinking the end of their beer. Like I wouldn't be awful, right?
Okay. So if we take into account, now I can see you doing the biathlon. Like, yeah, I think you'd probably do all right. Now, if we take into account what's the next best option for you?
If you gave me the next 4 years and I was playing with three other people that cared to teach me, I have done it before. I would have a better chance, actually, now that you say that, of being a curler.
Yeah.
I've thrown a few stones, not a bunch. I've done it a few times. I think I could, my understanding of geometry and spatial recognition, I think I could get good at that. Again, I would be the drag on the team of four that
Right.
kept us from doing anything and being last place. I could probably be a curler, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do
Fair
that.
enough.
Yeah. Do you got a second you can think of that would be your like backup?
Uh,
Because I have
down
one. I have one for you.
downhill slalom.
Slalom or moguls?
Slalom.
Okay.
Because
Have you?
I can
Why do
ski
you
pretty
think
fucking
that?
good.
You can ski pretty fucking good. Okay,
I
I'll
can
deal with
ski
that. You
really
can
good,
ski
actually.
pretty fucking good. Okay, really fucking good. All right. So that being said, every single Winter Olympics, I think since it happened, which would have been, I want to say it was the '98. the French guy going down the slalom that takes one of the nuts.
I'd at least take out like 5 or 6 of them. Yeah.
But the famous video, are you
Yeah,
unfamiliar with
I've
what I'm
seen
saying?
it.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
you hear
You hear, yeah, yeah, it
that
comes
poor
around every
guy.
Olympics, right?
That
That's
poor
the
guy.
drawback of all that, right? Like,
Oh yeah. No,
and
I'd definitely be smacking at least one, probably
right,
5 or 6, but I'd make it down that hill.
you'd make it down the oh, well, that's pretty good then. Actually, I can see that. All right, and a far third before we get on to the terrible subject here. What would my like late third? I was really desperate to. Okay, hockey.
Yeah.
We already stipulated we'd be dead last, or in the case of curling, I would drag my team down so badly they would be last, but I could functionally do the job technically.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible goaltender. I could be the goaltender on the worst team in the Olympics. I could
There you
physically
go.
do the job, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Like it would the score would be 57-0 unless my team was amazing, right? But
Right.
I would be better than an empty net. I could physically like do the job of a goalie,
There you go.
but we'd fucking suck.
My third would probably be bobsled.
How many people? Two or four or solo?
Probably
They had
uh
solo this year.
probably 4.
All right. What position are you in that sled? Keep
Um
in mind the person in the front steers, the two people in the middle are ballast, and the person in the back is the brakes.
oh, I'd just be the weight.
You're
One
just
of the two in the
ballast in the
middle.
middle. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Yeah. So
Put my fat ass.
no matter what, you're in spandex tucked between two guys barreling down a hill at a crazy speed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going so fast I ain't gonna worry about them their peckers touching me.
At least you got a helmet on, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, it was going to happen eventually, man. So you've obviously thought this out. You have your comment solidified in your head on how you want to mention this. The
Yeah.
floor is yours, my friend.
Well, I think we need a moment of silence to address the fact that Canada lost not only to the men's hockey team of the United States, but to the women's as well. So you don't just suck a little, you suck a lot. Just saying.
How?
A moment of silence is needed.
All right. So I don't know. And first and foremost, let me congratulate both the women's U.S. Olympic team on their gold medal and the men's team. I would like to congratulate them both. What a well played final game for both teams. You should be proud of yourselves.
I heard it
Excellent.
was a good game. They were both good games.
They were both
Men's went to
fantastic
overtime.
games. Okay, so first and foremost, congratulations to both U.S. teams. Well played. Uh, saying that we suck when we had both silver medals and they both could have went the other way with a bounce of the puck. Saying suck is a little strong. All right. I know you're trying to get a rise out of me.
Yeah, but we
I'm
win.
gonna try not to let you do that, even though I'm pretty passionate about it, and you probably will. But saying suck seems a little unfair because we were also both number twos. So
Absolutely.
yes, fuck man, that didn't go our fucking way.
No, but I tell you what, like what it takes for any of the teams to get into the Olympics is amazing, right? You're talking the Olympics, summer or winter Olympics, you are talking about the best of the best athletes.
Except for the hometown squad. They always just got to put a team together and they get like a bye, right?
Right.
Italy
Right.
had a team in there. We may as well have been playing toddlers.
Yep.
But
Yep.
continue. Other than
But
that, yes, the best in the world.
right. You're talking about the best in the world, right? These are people that are taken from their teams to put onto this team and then train to become one unit, right? So it doesn't matter. I get to say you suck just because I'm talking to you. Canada
Absolutely.
doesn't suck in hockey. They never have.
But
9
you
times out
guys,
of 10, they
but you
beat the
guys
shit out
won
of
the
us.
goddamn Olympics this year, and on
And
behalf
you'll
of all
win next year.
on behalf of all Canadians, congratulations and fuck off a little tiny bit. We were not real happy about it. Especially, you consider a couple of things. One, both teams, and actually, if I was being honest, uh, the gold, silver, bronze, and the runner-up who played for the bronze teams, I think except for 5 or 6 players, they were all NHLers.
Yeah.
Dream teams, right? So let's be
Right.
honest. That's and Canada and the United States was 100%.
Yep.
All NHL. of course they should have been the number one and number two teams. Like,
Right.
yeah, obviously, right?
Right.
Lots of other teams have them, but in North America, bam, bam, like they're all NHLers,
Oh, absolutely.
right? So, I mean, that is
Absolutely.
something. Side note, it was very specifically mentioned all the time that it was an international event, so there's supposed to be sportsmanship. So if you drop the gloves to fight in the Olympics, it was an immediate ejection from the game, which it's a 5 minute penalty in the NHL, right?
Well, that's
But also,
unfortunate.
but also, if all the players in the gold medal game are all NHLers, let them go.
Right. Right.
Let
Let
them
them take a
go.
swing.
The
Absolutely.
people that you lose internationally that don't want to see that happen, you're going to gain more local North Americans who be like,
Ah,
they're letting fight in the Olympics now. I'm going to watch every
yeah, I'm
effing game
watching
now.
that now.
I'm watching that now. Uh,
I I think it's amazing, on that note, that when it comes to the women's team and stuff like that, what was it? 8 of the 12 gold medals the US got was from women's teams.
yes, listen,
Like,
regardless of sex, the American program is great. They do very well in every Olympic, summer and winter now. But it is good to see that they are producing, and by producing athletes, male and female, in slightly more equal numbers, it proves that they're committing to that side of the sport as
right,
much as they should be.
right.
I'm very happy with that. On that note, extremely sorry. Poor Lindsey Vaughn, local legend, got herself rehab, got back on the hill, got hurt, and put herself out of the Olympics immediately.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, she
Like,
was a great comeback story. And listen, God love Lindsey Vaughn. If by some miracle this ever gets to you, I wanted to see you do really, really well. I'm sorry that it turned out you went through all that and got hurt immediately. That's just bad luck. But I believe you're going to be an amazing coach. We look forward to it.
oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, and also,
Did she even get to take a run, or
she got to,
was it on
I don't even think she
was it
took a
during
run. I
practice?
think it might have been during practice. I don't even think it was during a run.
Ah,
Don't quote me
man.
on that, but I'm confident that it wasn't.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Also, a couple things I wanted to run by you. I noticed something that not so much Canada, but the United States takes a little bit of heat about being discriminatory and racist and things like that. Well, I noticed something during the Olympics year that's very unique to both the United States and Canada as far as you can't say we're racist because the only two countries during the Olympics that you see, and by the way, folks, this is going to be two-part thing of a new segment I'm going to try of is it racist? I'm not racist, but sometimes things I say or think might sound that way, so I'm going to say some of them out loud so you know I don't mean it hatefully. This is going to be the first one. You see something on a North American team, whether it's Canada or the United States, that you only see in a few other countries in the world, and that's Asian people. There ain't no white people on the Chinese team or the South Koreans, or right? But
You got a good point there.
hockey, skiing, snowboarding, figure skating, a few others that I can't think of. Speed skating, I said speed skating. Because our population is a little bit of a melting pot in both our countries. It's one
It's a
thing you,
lot of melting pot.
right? It's great. People from lots of different like ethnic backgrounds are part of the Olympics. I think that part of it is great. I noticed this year. I was like, oh yeah, like if you're not from an actual air quotes Asian country, there ain't no Asian people. There's a South Korean person who emigrated to Norway. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
It, but there's such a big population and such a, like mix of people here, which is great that we actually have people from different like ethnic groups and cultures and backgrounds on our teams. Where Poland, that's pretty much white Polish people.
Um, is it that way for figure skating?
That was the one that actually made it obvious for me was the figure skating.
Really?
But
It's
then
been a
again,
while since I
right.
watched the
And if,
Olympics.
yeah, right. And if you look, that's kind of both Olympics, right? But anyways, that was a side note.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is
But
insane.
yes, I was pretty pissed off about the hockey game. It was a little extra tough because as someone who likes to have a social drink, uh the missus and I got up early. We had invited some people over, but it was so early. Local time here was 7 a.m. start. Uh I made a lovely breakfast, biscuits and gravy. My first biscuits from scratch, by the way. Getting real slick at making biscuits from scratch, buddy.
Good job.
Uh but we had a Bloody Mary and a screw up at 7 a.m. I kept
Yep.
it to one drink a period. But also, it was so early in the morning. I don't remember the last time or if ever I had like a real solid buzz on at about 9:30 on a Sunday morning. Like, it was
I don't think
pretty
I've
early.
ever had that. Whoa, that's a
I
new
took the
level.
following day off specifically because I didn't know how that day was going to go. Win or
Yeah,
lose, there might have been some partying, right? I
right.
got up early. I had breakfast. I had some drinks. I watched the hockey game. I had a couple drinks after to drown my sorrows, but had we won, I also would have had a couple drinks to celebrate our win.
Right.
Had a nap and then proceeded to get up later. I got myself more than buzzed up twice in the same
That's
13-hour period. So
that's
also,
pro
folks, on a
level.
totally unrelated thing, I'm probably going to take a break from drinking on the podcast coming up soon for the next foreseeable future. But also, in my defense, there's a bunch of other Canadians and Americans were doing the same thing. So what are you going to do?
And I will like to say I will vouch for Jason. He's not an alcoholic.
Right.
It
I do
just
like
sounds like
booze,
it is.
but yeah, I do. So I'll say it now,
Oh
so it's on
shit.
the record, buddy. About the American. I can't speak for the women's, but as far as the American men's gold medal win, uh, again, congratulations. We don't suck because we were right behind you there. But third, I just want to say on the record for posterity, at the end of regulation, before the overtime started, the Canadians had three real solid chances that never should have went to overtime. But given the state of things in the United States right now, I called the head of Hockey Canada after regulation before overtime started, and I said, "Listen, it's the anniversary of the 1980 air quotes miracle on ice with the hockey against the Russians. Things aren't really great here in the States right now. They're all really divided, but they can all get behind this. Maybe let them have this one. We know we're better. I don't know if what I said carried any weight, but perhaps
You're
just
so
that
full of
we
shit.
want things to be a little better here in the
Uh,
States. You needed something to come together on because I can
that's
tell you for a fact, within 4 hours of the United States winning this game, I got almost identical, sometimes the exact same social media post from dozens of Americans, but some of the ones from people who I knew were very left and very right were sending me the exact same posts. So I can tell you for at least a short time, it brought the United States together. They all had one belief. We won.
that's funny.
That is worth the loss of one hockey game to bring the states together for however long it was.
It was two, but okay.
But I would have given it all up for a couple of Canadian golds.
Look, and yeah, no. Do I actually mean it that Canada sucks? Absolutely not. They're probably the best freaking hockey league out there. But you know what? We won. Sorry.
No sorry needed. But yes, you definitely won. And how kind of mildly Canadian of you to go sorry. That's wicked. Thanks everybody for listening again this week. Appreciate your patience with us having a couple of weeks off there. Stay tuned next week. Listen to the disclaimer at the start of the episode. John and I are going to take a swing for the fence here and try something a little different. Interested to
Yep.
see what kind of comments come out of that. John,
Yep.
thank you very much, man. I appreciate you taking the time to get together with me tonight. As we tell the people all the time, remember that your work keeps the world working. And before we
Absolutely.
let you go, just remember you can check out everything that is ISAW by going to our website, isawpodcast.com. There you'll find all our socials. The Buy Us a Beer tab is there where you can buy us one or multiple beers if you want to help out this little growing podcast. Also be named a sponsor of an upcoming episode. The Be a Guest tab is there if you'd like to join us for a future recording. All the contact information if you'd like to reach out with feedback or ideas for future episodes. And of course, our phone number is 507-607-ISAW. That's 507-607-4729, where you can directly text us or leave a voicemail. And if they're a good one, we might even include it on a future recording. John, is there anything that you'd like to say at the end of the segment here?
Yeah, God, we got to shorten it up.
We're gonna
working
get
on
it.
that, folks.
We're gonna work on that, but it's got to be regular. I threw that on John blind here. Also, I realized I forgot a really important thing I want to say here before we let go here. I said it in the end. Is it racist thing? Is this racist? When I watched the Olympics this year, it seems weird that all the foreign coaches, Norway and Germany and whatever, all the foreign coaches look like James Bond villains or henchmen to me. Is that racist?
That's definitely not racist, but
They're always in
definitely
suits.
profiling.
They're always in suits with a tie, looking very stern, focusing on their team's. I was wondering if it was racist that all foreign coaches look like Bond villains to me. That's not racist?
No,
All
not
right,
racist.
good.
It's just profiling. That's all.
All right, I'm glad to hear it. We're coming up with more of those in the future, folks. But yes, man, sorry. Finish your thought.
No, that just thanks for hanging out with us. Like Jason said, it's been a couple of weeks since you heard from us, and we are sorry about that. But life happens sometimes, and it might happen again in the future. You never know. But we do this for free, and we do this for fun, and well, you're kind of on our schedule, so.
Well said. All right,
So,
buddy,
but
well,
thanks again, my man. Appreciate it. Love you all.